Another thing we're following right now is Donald Trump. He is in Iowa right now, getting ready to make some big remarks. In all the polls, they can be volatile, but a consistent read in these polls is Donald Trump is on top. At least in the Republican field, he's on top. Now, Ben Carson might do better pitted against the Democratic candidate, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden if he enters the race. But Donald Trump is still the top guy. Now, Stuart Stevens, he's got a book out the last season, A Father's Son, A Lifetime of College Football. So maybe he'll weigh in on this lad birthday. But your argument is that he's not going to be around for Iowa, right? You don't think Donald Trump is going to stick it out. Why?
Neil, hey, it's great to be here. Listen, I think that Donald Trump is someone who places a great value in his brand. He's always in this argument with Forbes over how much it's worth.
Right.
That brand is based on being a winner. And what do we know about most people who run for president? They lose. I don't think that Donald Trump is going to win Iowa if he stayed in. I don't think he'll win New Hampshire. Don't think he'll win South Carolina. He's just very different than the kind of candidates that electorate would nominate. So, therefore, why would he stay in as someone who is a big winner in business to emerge a loser in politics?
But even if he were to lose in politics, he has exponentially built that proverbial brand. Win, lose, draw, whatever you say. More people know him now, if that's possible, than they did prior.
Well, I don't think that he would look at it that way. You know, his greatest put down is to call someone a loser. And the thing about politics is there's a score. You can't spin, well, I really won. You can't spin that, well, my brand is really worth $10 billion, not $4 billion. You get a number, and you're evaluated. And I think that that's something that is very dangerous for him, because it would redefine who he is. A lot of people come out of this presidential process enhanced, but a lot of people come out of it in a lower status. And I just don't think that he'll do that. Yeah, but he's been in this race, what, for 3 months or so, and he's still on top. So I don't know. And what I find so amazing is that he watches and follows everything on him, said about him, even retweeting a story we did on this very show within the last hour. Susanna, do we have this? This will amaze you, but maybe not, because you know the power of this show. Donald Trump is leading Ben Carson in a new Quinnipiac poll. We brought that, and he tweeted us that. So he tweeted our passing that along. You know, if Donald Trump were president, I think a 13-year-old kid in his mom's basement in Moscow could start a war by trolling him. I've never seen anybody who's so sensitive to what's said about him.
Who's on top? Who's on top?
It's absolutely hysterical. And that really goes to my point.
You're a hater. You're a hater. Now, what is it you don't like about him? It could be he has a slightly big ego, but your issue is what else?
My issue is that he's proven in this race that he's just temperamentally unprepared on the issues, and temperamentally unprepared to be president. Look, I have a lot of respect for Donald Trump as a business leader. Right. He hired a lot of people when days were dark in New York. He stayed in New York. He's paid a ton in taxes. He's paid a ton given a ton to charity. A lot of respect for him. I think as a presidential candidate, he's sort of ridiculous. What he said about Syria and ISIS is just laughable.
We should explain what he said is let the Russians go after ISIS. Let them do it.
Well, he said let ISIS win, and they can fight it out with the Russians. I mean, it's just it's silly stuff. And I think that Donald Trump has been having fun. And he's someone who's at a stage in his life where he does what he likes to do for fun. God love him for that. Yeah. But people like to be with
his performance in the polls is surprising even him,
We'll see. Where you lead now really doesn't matter. It's just where you end up on the ballot.
All right.
We score this thing. It's definitive.
Oh, I see. We have this thing called a nomination and primaries and caucuses. All right, Stuart Stevens, thank you very much. Good seeing you.
Listen, it's great to see you.